Hey y'all, I'm back. In today's video, we're gonna talk about how I found my way through anxiety. Of course, I do have a full beat on, and I do have an extra special piece on my head. For that, I wanna invite an extra special guest. And that special guest just appeared right here, my husband, Alejandro, an artiste. So, can you explain what this piece is that you painted on my head?
Hello, my name is Nightshade, aka Alejandro, and this is my artwork. Dun, dun. I usually work in pen and ink on paper. My work is very expressive and there's a type of performative quality to it. I use these type of little emojis in my work. I feel like emojis are like our hieroglyphic, I can't say. Go put this in there, aren't you? I feel like emojis are currently a big part of our visual culture, so I like to explore a range of emotions and feelings within one work in a lot of different little moments.
Well, thank you, Nightshade. I appreciate it. Thank you for doing this with me. This is well, it's not our first collaboration. It's kind of our first art collaboration. It looks good. I'm excited to take pictures. The reason I asked him to do this for me for this specific video was because we're gonna be talking about anxiety. And I feel like this piece really describes what I went through. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But before we do, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, share, tell your auntie, tell your cousin, tell your best friend about me, so I could quit my daytime job and do what? Be snatched full time. All right, y'all, so I'm gonna start off by saying I am not a doctor. I am just going to speak from my own personal opinion. Any advice I give, you can either take or leave. So about 6 years ago, I started taking a medication called Celexa. The reason I started taking it was because my anxiety had gotten out of hand. Like, I was not able to sleep, I wasn't able to work, I wasn't able to do anything. I was just like constantly anxious. It was just difficult to just live. So I started taking this medication and everything was fine. Honestly, it was a really great medication that changed my life. I even advocated for it for years. So fast forward some time, and the year is 2017. I was falling apart internally. I had gained 70 pounds. I was more anxious than ever. I was in a job that I was extremely miserable in, and I didn't have the space to make big decisions. I just didn't. I was stuck. So stuck. So finally, in 2018, I decided that I needed to do something about it. So I went online and I found myself a therapist. Y'all, this is not an ad. This is not sponsored, but I want to give y'all some resources for help if you need it. I went on betterhelp.com and they actually have a division called Pride Counseling, which specifically focuses on queer people. Anybody within the LGBTQ plus community is a welcome to Pride Counseling. And what's great about Pride Counseling is that the therapists that they select for you all have experience with queer issues, and for the most part, it seems like they're all queer. Either they're queer or they're allies. I've since had several friends use this app. All of them have had a really great experience. If you're having some anxiety, BetterHelp or Pride Counseling is a place to check out if you are a person on the go like I am. They only do mobile visits, so no in-persons. You can either choose video visits or phone visits. Your therapist is available by text message. Y'all, it's the vibe. It is a full vibe. So anyway, I got on BetterHelp. Through therapy, I was able to start making some big decisions. For example, the biggest decision I made was to switch up my medication. Y'all, oh my God. If I tell y'all the journey, I went to my doctor that I had at the time, and as maybe some of y'all know, primary care doctors should not be in charge of medication management, especially when it comes to any kind of SSRI or any kind of medication that alters your mood. So under my doctor's advisement, not my therapist, under my doctor's advisement, is that a word? Advisement, I'm just gonna use that word. So under his advisement, I weaned off of my medication within 2 weeks. This is a medication I'd been on for years. So what happened was I ended up going through every single withdrawal symptom that you could think of. The shakes, more anxiety, thoughts of suicide. Yes, y'all, thoughts of suicide. It's not even that I actually was going to physically harm myself, but I I remember telling my husband, like, if I am not alive anymore, that's fine. If I were just to like die today, I would be okay. And I know that's a really big bomb to drop and just kind of move on from, but that's how I felt. I think it's important for people to know that this happens. So I didn't really want to be alive anymore, and I was still stuck at that job that I was not happy at. I was out for like 2 months. I was almost completely debilitated. All I would do is sleep. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention, y'all, a big part of withdrawals is nausea and dizziness. I was literally nauseous from morning till evening every single day for 2 months. I couldn't keep food down. I was constantly throwing up. I couldn't go out. I was having consistent panic attacks because the nausea made me feel like I was having a panic attack, which would lead to panic attacks. It was a mess. It was a complete mess. All of this could have been avoided had my doctor referred me to a psychiatrist or somebody who knew how to manage mental health medications. Ugh, that's besides the point. This is not a let's on Alexander's old doctor for up video. It's more of a video to show you all that just 2 years ago, I was this person. Just 2 years ago. When I finally made it through the withdrawal symptoms, through the therapy that I took, and through quitting my job, through also successfully actually completely stopping my medications, which I'm so grateful for. I am currently on 0 medications for my anxiety. I'm using the tools that I learned from my therapist to manage my anxiety. Do I have anxiety? Yes, every single day. But the difference now is that I have the tools to manage my anxiety. It's not the same as before, when the only tool I had was my medication. I now know to remove myself from situations that make me anxious. I'll give y'all some insider. One of my tools is that when I'm having a more severe anxiety attack, I just jump into a hot shower and it really helps. Additionally, lifestyle changes. I've clearly lost most of the weight that I gained, and I've been doing more regular exercise, which I need to catch up on because it's been a couple weeks, and I'm eating more healthfully, and I'm doing things that make me happy. But most importantly, I am being my authentic self. By being my authentic self, I have space to actually be happy, to actually spend time on being happy. How about that? But yeah, y'all, it's possible to go from having all of these emotions to just this emotion. And not always though, because if you're always happy, there's something wrong with you. That is also a condition. I also want to disclose that I am 100% okay with medications. I know I said that I'm not doing my medications anymore, but that doesn't mean that I am not okay with medications. If you need medications to function, please do so. If you are in a point in your life where you feel like you can't function and you don't have the tools, and you don't even have the space to learn the tools that you need in order to function without medication, I highly suggest going and seeking consult from a mental health specialist who will give you the right medications that you need. The right. Emphasis on right. Y'all, I just want you to see that change is possible, that a brighter future is possible, especially when you're going through ugly, horrible things. I was a completely different person just 2 years ago, but it took me almost a full year of recovery to get through that. It was unreal, y'all. And then of course the flandemic hit. But what was great is that because I had, again, the tools that I learned during therapy, I was able to navigate this pandemic life much better than I probably could have before. I mean, I'm laughing, but honestly, had I not gone to therapy and made these life changes and done the things that I did in order to better myself and become a better person and just be happier, this pandemic could have been a death sentence for me. Let's just throw it out there. I don't know if I would have had the mental capacity to survive it. I don't know. Yeah. Although I am definitely a much happier person now, I have to constantly remind myself that life is a day-by-day, situation. Some days are really great days and I'm completely happy and I feel zero anxiety. And most days I wake up with pressure in my chest and a lump in my throat and my mind is instantly racing from the second I wake up. But I can power through my day knowing that the next day is a new day and the day after that is another new day, and so on and so forth, etc, etc. Honestly, y'all, I'm no longer like chasing happiness because life is day by day. So is happiness. Happiness is not a goal, it's not a destination. It is honestly, I'm gonna say this, I think I said this in one of my videos before, but happiness is not a destination. Happiness is the journey, y'all. That's happiness. It's the little things. It's those little highlights. Those are the moments that I consider happiness now. That's what happiness is to me. Anyway, y'all, if you're having a hard time, if you have chronic anxiety, if you are depressed, get yourself some therapy. Anyway, y'all, that's all I have for y'all today. Mental health is super important, so I hope y'all got something out of this. I hope to see you again next time, and don't forget, we're all just trying. So be nice.